From unsolved mysteries to unexplained phenomena, from comedy gold to relationship fails, Amazon Music's got the most ad-free top podcasts, included with Prime. Because the only thing that should interrupt your listening is, well, nothing. Download the Amazon Music app today.
This is Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Did you ever wonder what the fastest raindrop was?
Ooh, that's a good one. If you were to drive to the moon, let's say, while going 60 miles an hour, how long would that take? Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy. And this week we scoured the internet to find out these useless facts just for you.
Plus, we'll answer your question in the mailbag section. And in the news, this guy was so much of a genius, he ran out of gas.
Totally useless information. It's everything you never needed to know.
Speaking of cars,
This is Totally Useless Vehicle Information with Nick, Meet, and Roy.
I did have the same fact is my first fact. From time to time, Nick and I get the same fact.
yeah,
We don't discuss the facts before the show.
No.
We just discuss the category. And of course, this week is cars, science, and garden.
right.
So from time to time, Nick and I will find the same fact. We have over 200 and how many shows?
Oh, 215 easily.
Yeah. So from time to time, it's very rare that this happens. So I will do my second fact. The odds of dying in a car crash are 1 in 5,000.
Oh, okay.
Now, why are people so scared of planes? The odds of dying in a plane crash are 1 in 11 million.
Wow.
It's almost like winning lotto.
It is. And as you're flying on your way to pick up your lottery ticket, the plane crashes.
Could you imagine you're flying and then you go like, wait a minute, 16, 27, 35. I won.
Boom, crash. All right, so let me give you my teaser because I'm curious to find out how similar your fact is. So if you were to drive to the moon, okay, using the left lane because it's the passing lane, at 60 miles per hour, it would take you less than 6 months to get there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird because I have from a trusted source on the internet
Yeah.
that it would take less than a month. Actually, 29 days,
At what speed?
60 miles per hour.
Okay. Wow. All right, so we'll go to Pluto first before we'll stop by Pluto on the way
So
to the moon.
30 days, 24 hours times 60 miles per hour.
Right.
So 30 times 24 is roughly 600, 720.
Mm-hmm.
720 times 6. Yeah, I think it's about a month, Nick.
Okay, there you go. So we'll stop by Pluto to pick up, I don't know. So in Italy, they're planning to stop sending out speed camera photos. Up here we call it photo radar. So if
you have that still,
Yeah.
we got rid of it.
So if you speed, the camera takes a picture of your car. But the reason why Italy is going to stop sending out those photos is because, according to the Italian Transport Ministry, drivers caught speeding would only be sent the fines notices to their homes, right? So authorities would only use the images taken by this camera. Apparently, there have been various reports of people's relationships and marriages and business deals falling apart after the speed camera photos were revealed that the passengers traveling in those vehicles were not supposed to be there.
So they weren't just speeding.
That's right. So they're also out of their lane, if you know what I mean. And so the Italian transport ministry said, no more. That's it, finish.
It's a finish, like you marriage.
That's it. Wow.
Okay, since this is cars, the most mileage ever clocked on one single car, and I believe it was a Volvo,
Yes.
2,850 miles.
Wow.
2,850,000 miles on one car.
You'd have to change the oil every, I don't know, every 10
I
minutes.
would love to figure out how many sets of tires, brakes, oil changes. It's amazing. It's got to be amazing. But that car doesn't owe that person anything.
Okay, I have to be really quiet on this one. Shh, 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 shh. In Switzerland, there's a bizarre rule that when you first hear it, it's going to say, wait a minute, it kind of makes sense. It is illegal to slam your car door in Switzerland after 10 p.m. Can't slam
Why?
it. Well, it disturbs the other people, right? Because usually by then, they're sleeping or resting by this time. So they do not want to get startled by a door being slammed.
That's a bit restrictive,
Well, so when
I think.
Well, if you're in Switzerland, just be careful.
Yeah.
Just
Leave it to the spice.
Oh yeah.
I love this one. This is like my fact of the day.
Okay.
The longest living person to own a car.
Yeah.
I love this one. The car was a Rolls-Royce Piccadilly P1 Roadster.
Okay.
A Rolls-Royce Piccadilly P1 Roadster. It was a graduation gift from a man named Alan Swift's father who lived in Massachusetts. His dad gave him this gift of this Piccadilly Roadster for his birthday. Alan owned and drove the car for 82 years.
Wow.
So the guy lived to like 90-something, 97 probably, 98. But for 82 years, he drove that car. That's the longest on record.
So I'm wondering if he drove to the moon or Pluto using that car.
He could have driven to the moon back and forth around 75 times. No.
Probably.
But I wonder how many times the 2,850,000 mile car could have driven it.
Okay, I got it. 3,
Got it?
2. All right. Well, how about this? It is illegal to wave at someone from your vehicle. This is one of those.
What?
Okay, waving goodbye to your friends from your moving vehicle could get you into a lot of hot water. I'll tell you where in a minute. Even winding down the window or opening your window, stretching your arm outside to cool down could also get you into trouble. According to all state and territories' driving conditions, it is illegal for any part of your body to be outside of moving vehicles at any time. Boy, you'd get really into a lot of trouble, especially in your high school days with all the body parts.
Makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Do you remember there's a YouTube video
Right,
where this girl is being taped by another car,
right.
and she's hanging out the window trying to expose her breath to them,
Right.
and gets her head lopped off by a traffic sign.
Oh, ouch.
She wasn't just topless, she was headless.
Oh, wow. So, here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, here's a useful tip. The next time you're bidding farewell to your mates in Australia, try waving inside the vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay? Just a word of caution. Thank you for joining us here at Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. We're coming up on 5 years of our show, and we will in September. It'll be 5 years. We will have a very special program, maybe a couple of parts, where we will relive some of the great moments from the past 5 years, all of the episodes, some of the facts, some of the funnier facts. We even have some amazing guests that we had on our shows, right?
Yeah. I think we're going to do a whole show just on guests alone.
We interviewed somebody who hasn't worn shoes in 20 years. We interviewed a scientist who went underwater for close to 100 days to break a record. We spoke to somebody who, had his lederhosen stolen. And we'll talk to an author about the best way to do you squat or sit when you go to the bathroom.
We even have my message from the comedy club for you,
right.
Nick.
That's right, for me. So all coming up on the 5th anniversary of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
Einstein was a moron. Newton was a jerk. E equals nothing in science, science, science.
It may sound like a horrible thing, but one of the amazing facts in science is this: that a human stomach is more capable, because of all the acids, it's more capable of dissolving razor blades. Okay?
Wow.
Acids are classified in your stomach on a scale from 0 to 14. Remember,
You talking about your stomach or your acid?
the acids in your stomach. Or your
Oh,
acid, I see. Wow. See, even after 5 years, I still don't get it. What do I say? It takes me 90 minutes to watch 60 minutes? The acids in your stomach or your ass are classified on a scale from 0 to 14. So remember, if you remember this in high school science, the lower the pH level, the stronger the acid is. And the pH level in the stomach ranges from 1 to 3, which is so strong, it can actually dissolve a single-edged blade in a few hours of immersing that in your stomach acid. They found this in a study, of course. So if you ever swallow a razor blade, you don't need to worry about it, really. But don't do it. But don't do it.
It cuts both ways. It cuts both ways, Nick.
That's right.
Just don't push.
Yeah. It's gut-splitting information.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Every minute on the earth, there are over 2,000 thunderstorms going on. Can you imagine that? There's over 2,000 thunderstorms happening every minute on the earth. And then we wonder, how did the earth, like the oceans, get full?
Yeah.
Well, every minute there's 2,000 storms occurring on the earth.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense. Well, speaking of water.
Makes a lot of noise, too. They're thunderstorms.
That's right. They are. And how about this? So speaking of water, how about spitting? Spitting is good. There is no flavor in your food without saliva. One of the most amazing facts in science is that we need saliva to taste our foods. In order for food to taste, the chemicals from the food must dissolve in saliva. Once the chemicals in the food are dissolved, they can be detected by receptors in our taste buds.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
The fastest, here's my tease, the fastest raindrop ever recorded in history was 18 miles per hour.
Wow.
That's pretty damn fast. You know how fast? I mean, you have to be pedaling like a maniac to go 18 miles an hour on a bicycle.
And that must really hurt if the raindrop keeps falling on your head.
My God, 18 miles per hour is pretty fast.
It is. That's a pretty interesting fact. Thank you for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
my next one's even better.
Well, I'll tell you this much. So as you're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, we thank you very much for listening. You must understand that Roy and I go through a lot of facts. In fact, one of the bits of information we will provide on our 5th anniversary show is an approximation of how many facts that we gave. So that must make us really, really smart, right? And really, really fast thinkers, maybe.
We're just smart.
Or just smart. In our case, just smart. The human brain takes in 11 million individual pieces of information per second.
Wow.
11 million individual pieces of information per second, but only cognizant of roughly 40 bits of information.
Oh, wow. So it's taking in 11 million bits of information. The average person, Nick's is only taking in about 2
million. So roughly 40. So that's why we do so well.
I'm cognizant of none.
Right. So I wish I knew exactly what that meant, but it's cognizant of roughly 40.
Yuma, Arizona.
Humor.
No, Yuma.
Oh, I thought you said
Y-U-M-A.
Y-U-M-A to yourself, too.
Right. There's no humor in Yuma.
Right.
Yuma, Arizona get ready for this one, folks. 4,000 hours of sunshine per year.
Wow.
Direct sunshine. It's the sunniest place on Earth. So that led me to say, well, what is the least sunniest place on Earth?
Great question.
And it makes sense. It's the South Pole, because for 6 months there is no sunlight.
Right.
It only has 182 days of actual sunlight.
I like that very much. Very much so.
Mhm.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about thunderstorms and how they probably fill up our oceans. Let's find out the deepest part of one of the oceans. 36,000.
Mariana Trench.
That's it. Congratulations. Wow.
Yeah! We are so smart.
Wow. After 5 years, I think we finally got one or two facts right. 36,200 feet down, or the length of 25 Empire State Buildings stacked one on top of the other.
Wow.
So the deepest part of the ocean, the Mariana Trench, is 36,200 feet. 200 feet down.
I think it's Mariana.
No, that's my last name.
I think it's the Mariana Trench.
Is it? Okay, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 25 Empire State Buildings stacked one on top of the other. That's how deep it is.
Wow. Get ready. Because here's what you said about the plane going to the moon, right? If a plane was traveling a car, you said.
Right.
But if a plane was traveling 200 miles per hour, it would take 800 years to get to Pluto.
Wow. Okay. Pack a lunch.
No, folks, that would make you almost as old as Nick.
Whoa. So let me just go back to the previous fact. You're absolutely correct. It is the Mariana Trench. So see, there you go. So I just proved the previous fact about being the fast thinker. 11 million pieces of information went in. I apparently only got 2 right. Check out our website, nickandroy.com, and also check out the Nick and Roy store. Here's why. You click on the birthday messages, and we have been really busy with these birthday messages. We thank you very much. One birthday after another, and we've had situations where someone missed someone's birthday, and so we created a belated birthday or really, really, really early version of the next birthday. In any event, we gather facts about the day that they were born and all kinds of personal stuff. It is a personalized gift for someone you love. The Nick and Roy store is where you find the birthday messages.
If you go on nickandroy.com and click on the store, Nick and Roy store, you're going to see a sample. You can actually click on a sample of the birthday message.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, the best gift you'll ever get anybody. And if you have somebody that's really hard to get a gift for, this is the best gift you will ever get them. Go to nickandroy.com and click on the Nick and Roy store and look at birthday messages. I'm telling you, you'll be a superstar. These people will be raving about it.
Way better than those celebrities that have that sort of cameo appearances or whatever they call it. But you know what? This is a lot more personalized. We have a lot of fun with it. And
we're bigger celebrities.
Oh, as far as we're concerned, yeah. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
Down the garden path with Nick and Roy.
She sounds so peaceful, doesn't she? Mother Nature.
She sounds stoned, Nick.
No, she's
totally stoned.
No, she's not.
She sounds like she's partaking in the Canadian free pot thing.
They don't have
you guys are pot is legal, correct?
Cannabis is legal up here in Canada, yes. But you know what? That's
I know. That explains the marina.
Right, exactly.
Instead of Mariana.
Well, listen, you need you need to park your boat in the marina in order for you to get to the Mariana Trench, don't you?
Well, you should depart from the marina.
Oh, okay. Jeez, I did that one wrong too. Go on.
The oldest growing tree on Earth.
Yes?
Well, most people would say the sequoia, or Nick might say the sequoia.
Right.
But most people would say the sequoia, but no, that's the tallest tree on Earth.
Right.
The sequoias and the those massive trees, they're unbelievably tall. They are the tallest trees.
Okay.
But the oldest tree on Earth is the Bristol cone pine. The pine cone tree is the oldest tree on Earth. By the way, remember we were talking on a show about the sequoias? How could they possibly have gotten so wide and so tall and so on? And so you could drive cars through them.
Yeah.
And we found out that the bears would get the salmon and bring them into the forest to eat.
Yeah.
And over millions of years of them doing that, the protein from the dead fish carcasses created such a fertile soil. I mean, how amazing is that?
Totally.
People need to go to nickandroy.com and just binge listen to our shows.
Exactly. Be glad you did. Look, with the summer holidays coming up pretty soon, if you're going on a long road trip, what a great way to spend your time. Download as many of episodes as you possibly can, and then you can enjoy your ride all the way home or to wherever you're going. It's awesome. So many people confuse this, and even I know this because I'm smart. Yeah. Is bamboo a tree or grass? Bamboo is oftentimes confused as a tree because it extends about 100 feet tall. You would talk about tall trees. So some bamboo is as tall as 100 feet. Some species may even be marketed as bamboo trees, but scientifically speaking, bamboo is 100% grass.
Wow.
It is the tallest and largest member grass. When people picture grass, it's like, the short little green plant you see in gardens and parks. But also, another thing about bamboos, they do not have bark like trees.
Wow. And they're the fastest growing, right?
They are the fastest growing, but it is not a tree, it is grass.
Well, kiss my grass and call me pretty.
You have some bamboo.
Tomato juice.
Yes.
Is the official state beverage of Ohio.
Really? Why?
Because thanks to A.W. Livingston, he made America love tomatoes. He's the guy that made tomatoes popular in the United States, and he's from Ohio, and he began growing them there. And so Ohio adopted it as their state beverage.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, their governor, Bloody Mary.
Yes.
She.
Just call me Caesar.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, and I'm thrilled once again to invite our guest who was on last year. We had quite a bit of reaction, I would say, because a lot of people didn't realize that there were a lot of bizarre and weird things that happen in Toronto. And so we figured we'd invite him back. And as it turns out, not only is he coming back again to talk about the festival this year, but I'll tell you where you can hear Adam every week on this, one of the flagship stations, News Talk 1010 in Toronto. Adam Bunch, welcome back to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
Well, thank you so much for having me back.
So you're a history, you're a creator of these kinds of festivals, and you're a historian. You've written several books, I imagine.
Yeah, I've got a couple, the Toronto Book of the Dead and the Toronto Book of Love, all about the city's history.
Toronto Book of the Dead, that's lovely. What is that about?
It sort of tells the whole history of the city from before it was founded to today. Every chapter is some different true story that has some connection to death. So there are duels, executions, murders, plagues, each one of which sort of adds up to sort of teaching you sort of accidentally a lot about the city and how it ended up the way it is.
So it's no longer the Toronto the good, it's Toronto the weird and bizarre and... It is. It's a city and a country just filled with strange, weird little stories. Yes, and this is not even a political conversation, but I know what you mean. So you created this bizarre festival of Toronto, and tell us a little bit about the festival and how you came up with the idea. Yeah, so it's I've wanted to do some kind of history festival for years and years. There's so many people doing such interesting work, writing about the city and its history. And had the idea that maybe going with the theme of the bizarre would be a nice way and a nice way to get particularly sort of unexpected tales. So last year when you had me on, that was the very first edition ever, and we're bringing it back this year, the Festival of Bizarre Toronto History. So it's 7 days from this upcoming Monday to Sunday, just filled with
sort of weird stories about the city's history. So Monday to Friday, we're doing online events over Zoom. You can tune in from wherever. Every night we'll have an interview or a little panel or a lecture about some weird topic. And then on the weekend, we're going to head out into the streets, into the city for a bunch of walking tours on weird themes, also about the city's past.
Well, that's great because, I mean, members of our audience, I mean, we're coast to coast to coast in Canada in this program. So certainly majority of our audience will be able to enjoy it online. But if they happen to be in the Toronto area next weekend, because the festival runs from May 6th through the 12th, the ending on Mother's Day. I believe you have a tour on Mother's Day as well. So if you're in the Toronto area next weekend, you certainly can participate in that. But you can go online. We'll give you information about that. But let's talk a little bit about some of the bizarre or shocking stories of Toronto. For example, a night of strange and shocking murders. Tell us what that discussion is going to be about.
You've got three wonderful authors who've written books about some of the most notorious murderers in Toronto history. And a lot of these murders are weird stories. So we've got Adam Seltzer, who's actually from Chicago, who's written about this guy, H.H. Holmes from the late 1800s, who's sort of recognized as the first American serial killer, but whose final murders were actually committed in Toronto. He has this very weird story of traveling from city to city with one of his victims' children, who he's gradually offing as he goes. He eventually gets caught, admits to even more murders than he ever even did. So even today, he's a figure sort of surrounded by myth, and we're not even sure how many people he really killed. So we've got Adam Seltzer talking about that. We've got Carolyn Witzman, who's written a book about the murder of a guy in Parkdale that created a huge sensational trial with this woman, Clara Ford, put on trial the same year H.H. Holmes was in Toronto murdering people. And Nate Henley, who's written a couple of books with weird Toronto murders in them. One about a teenage serial killer who then goes to prison and continues having a weird story there. He sort of develops a following of his fellow prisoners who he's convinced he's in contact with aliens who are running an alien brotherhood through him. And another book that Nate wrote called The Beetle Bandit, all about a guy who started sticking up banks wearing a beetle wig, who eventually ends up in a murderous shootout too. So there are all these strange murders, and each one from an era of the city's history that sort of reflects some of the reality of the city at the time too. So it's not just these tittling tales of death, but they also sort of shine a light on some of the city's history as well.
So one of the topics we cover here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy are inventions. And apparently one of the topics that you're going to cover this week as part of your festival, Toronto's wackiest inventions. And what kind of inventions were created in Toronto?
Yeah, there's a whole long list. If you look at old newspapers, they're filled with these old-timey ads, late 1800s, early 1900s, for all sorts of bizarre contraptions, things that are supposed to cure your hearing loss. Other ones that are, miraculous cures and potions filled with all sorts of weird ingredients. One of the weirdest, believe it or not, the whoopee cushion was actually invented in Toronto.
Whoa. Time out. Hold on. The whoopee cushion was invented in Toronto?
That is a Torontonian invention, that. So one of the panelists that night is Chris Bateman from Heritage Toronto, who just recently worked on writing up a plaque in the city. There's now an official plaque for the invention of the whoopee cushion. So he's going to talk about how the whoopee cushion came to be and sort of the process of giving it that sort of official recognition too. One of the weirder stories you'll find in Toronto.
Yeah, because we do need a plaque to commemorate the fact that the whoopee cushion was invented in Toronto. Otherwise,
how would people know?
No, exactly. Oh boy.
We will learn more about it on Tuesday.
Exactly. All right, that's what I was going to say. So you can find out more about this online. What is the website? And we'll say it again later, but what is the website?
BizarreToronto.com, where you'll find the full schedule, links to buy tickets and everything.
The Festival of Bizarre Toronto History. My guest is Adam Bunch. He's joined us again. So let's give the audience one more. Let's see. Strange Tales from the Wilds of Toronto. That should be interesting.
There's a new exhibit at Museum of Toronto. Two curators, Amy Lavender Harris and Jennifer Bonan, will be joining us to talk about sort of the city's ravines and river valleys. Toronto is a city that's sort of cut through by these sort of quasi-wild spaces that are sort of inherently strange because they're, yes, sort of wild, but also in the city, sort of natural, but also controlled. And, you know, all sorts of strange things have happened in them, and strange tales about sort of the animals that have lived in Toronto. When the city was founded, we were a place that was, you know, had packs of wolves and bears roaming through it, even mountain lions, stuff that's unthinkable today living in the big urban city. So we're going to dig into some of that history with them and talk about sort of the strange side of the city's ravines.
You know, from what I gathered in both the conversations that we had last year and even this year, Adam, I'm realizing that fans of these types of festivals, I mean, you don't have to necessarily be a fan of bizarre events, but even from the historical point of view, this is quite informative in terms of like if you're a history buff, you'll definitely enjoy this kind of festival.
Yeah, I think bizarre is just one way to approach it, but all these sort of unexpected stories. Yeah, one of my favorite things is to find a little weird story that then teaches you a ton about sort of the bigger history at work. And that by learning about a murder, by learning about a strange story from a ravine, you can really learn a lot about the city's past, even the country's past, and sort of the Canada and the Toronto of today are sort of the product of all these stories added up over the years.
That's fantastic. And if you are a fan of these weird type of history, as on Newstalk 1010, which is one of the stations on the iHeart Radio network, you appear every Tuesday afternoon. Weird Toronto History, what it's called. It's the afternoon show on Newstalk 1010 in Toronto.
Yep. Every week I pop up and do a little weird story.
Awesome. And the name of the festival again is?
The Festival of Bizarre Toronto History.
And how can people get tickets?
Head to bizarretoronto.com. Head to the tickets page and you'll find the link that'll lead you there.
It starts May 6th, goes right through the 12th. Adam Bunch, thanks. I hate to do it this way, but I think I have to. Thanks a bunch for joining us here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Thank you.
Nick and Roy will continue with Totally Useless Information. We're back with Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Here's some more facts about grass, because you were talking about marijuana, but not that kind of grass. This is a different kind of grass. There are 1,400 species of grasses existing right now in the United States. Grasses make up 26% of plant life on Earth, so a little more than a quarter. By weight, turf grass is 75 to 80% water. And finally, more facts about grass. A healthy lawn can increase a home's value by up to 20%, according to some realtors.
Yeah, Nick grows it just right so that you can roll it properly in between two pieces of rolling paper.
No, between two pieces of bamboo paper.
Big bamboo.
Yes.
Remember that? Not that I ever bought it.
No, not at all. Not at all. We've seen it advertised in magazines and such.
We saw it in a movie.
Yes.
You ever use saffron in your food?
Yes, I have.
It's awfully expensive.
I've heard.
And I've used it, especially in Indian cooking. Mm-hmm. But also some Mediterranean food. But saffron is the yellow substance that's harvested from the stamen. You know what the stamen is? It's like the pee-pee of the flower.
Oh, is that the scientific term? It's the pee-pee of the flower.
That is literally the scientific term.
Right.
In fact, you say it like Albert Einstein. What we have here is the pee-pee of the stamen. But anyway,
yeah, go ahead.
The stamen is what the bees rub up against to get the pollen. Well, these people harvest it by scraping it off the stamen, and you get saffron.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you said, really, really expensive.
I want to know, too, if anybody could email us, is anyone allergic to saffron, being that it is pollen?
Oh,
Good question, right?
great question. Go to nickandroy.com, click on Contact Us if you have the answer or an answer. You love Roy's a chef by trade, and he's cooked many for many years now. And you use a lot of garlic in your cooking, do you not? Or you've used garlic?
I love garlic.
So for centuries, people have confused about what garlic really is. Is it an herb? Is it a spice? It's actually a member of the lily family.
Oh,
Garlic is a bulb that just so happens to be the root of an interesting flower. Garlic is super great for you, but of course, check with your doctor. In fact, doctors consider garlic to be superfood. This bulb has an incredible amount of health properties. It is an anticoagulant, antioxidant, antiviral, and antimicrobial. So garlic is
it's
pretty
great.
But some people do argue that garlic is also an herb and a spice because, well, first of all, it's a root vegetable, right? You grow this in the ground. Garlic has vegetable characteristics because it has a bulb, a tall stem, and long leaves. However, it is used more like an herb or a spice than a vegetable. Good old
It's so funny. When we were setting up to do the show, I was showing Nick these ginger chews.
Yes.
They also have turmeric in them. And you can buy them at a lot of stores, and they're fantastic. They help settle a queasy stomach. They're fantastic. Ginger chews are great.
Awesome.
Here's my last fact about garden stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Pumpkins and avocados are often thought of as vegetables,
Of course they are.
but they're not. They're fruit.
Okay.
They are fruit because the seeds are on the inside of them. That's one characteristic, but they are classified as fruit, pumpkins and avocados. But rhubarb, the rhubarb pie, a lot of times you'll get like strawberry rhubarb pie, which I love.
Of course.
Rhubarb is not a fruit, it's a vegetable.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of confused people.
Yes.
Like, what do? When you go to the supermarket, you're like, wait a minute, I'm looking for rhubarb, but I'm in the fruit section. I need to be in the vegetable section. But now I got to go back to the fruit section to get my pumpkins and avocados.
Right. And then if you want to bring home some lovely flowers, like for, your significant other, you can bring them a bulb of garlic because it's in the lily family and it's a flower.
Exactly. And it's funny, too, because I said to Nick, do you like ginger chews? And he said, no, I'd rather have Mary Ann. That one takes a few seconds, but there's a lot of people listening that are laughing.
I didn't know which. I really don't know which one to choose from. Go to our website, nickandroy.com. We told you one good reason, and that is to check out the Nick and Roy store. But here's another great reason why you should visit nickandroy.com. It's to send us an email.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
James from Hartford, Connecticut writes, Dear Nick and Roy, we really love listening to your show. We have a great time listening and learning, and we can't wait to hear what you guys are going to say. He even says gonna, not going to. He even writes it grammatically incorrectly. What you guys are gonna say about the facts you present. But here's my question. It may be silly, but here goes. Well, this is right up our alley. What's his name? James. Like, James, come on now. Really? That's really the fact that you
Nothing
think it's
silly to us, James.
No.
We look in the mirror every morning.
That's right. And then what was the joke that Rodney Dangerfield said? I heard the Fruit of the Loom guys giggling when I get into my underpants. So he has a silly question. Well, the fact that you think it's silly, this is silly. Here it is. Do fleas have wings?
Ooh.
Okay, so let's find out. So thank you, James.
I don't know. I would say no because they jump.
Well, let's see. James, great question. Fleas have 6 legs, 4 in the front, which are much shorter than the 2 in the back. Fleas travel by crawling and jumping.
I think they jump. Yeah.
So their long back legs enable them to jump up to, check this out, it enables them to jump up to 80 times their height.
Wow.
And 200 times their body length.
Oh, my God.
So fleas do not have wings. They have really, really strong back legs.
Thank you, James. I'm glad. I like that one.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, James.
I'm a little itchy, but that's okay.
Exactly.
I got a rubber collar around my neck. And it's not for fleas. And I have to put the red ball back in my mouth.
Right. There that's right. This day of the week, Roy. Anyway, that's other stuff.
Yeah, it's bondage day.
Yeah.
Okay. My mailbag is from Dakota, from New Zealand. I don't know if Dakota is a male or a female. He or she says, I am an expat in New Zealand, so I assume they are from the United States.
Okay.
They just wanted to say thank you for making me feel at home every week.
Oh, that's nice.
Our voices, our tone, and our discussions make her feel at home. Now, isn't that sad?
Wow, that's very nice.
Our constant knowledge and rapier wit makes her feel well. Okay, but she says, and I say she because now I would assume it's not a man.
Okay.
Because it says, I really love your show. I love when you guys talk about fashion. Mm-hmm. You make it so funny. So I think Dakota is a woman.
Okay.
Either that or a man who is very into fashion.
Well, look, I was going to ask you, I think the best way to determine if this writer, this listener, is male or female, is it North or South Dakota? Then you'd know.
And now for something completely useless.
With all the electric cars that are going to be made, this is an important fact. Listen to how many pounds. It's 55 pounds of copper wire is built into the average car. 55 pounds. Okay, well, guess how much an electric car uses? Because all it is wires, and the wires in the engine are wire wrapped, and like the old Tesla motors are wrapped coils of copper. 158 pounds on average is 150 pounds of copper wire in a electric car.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Einstein was a moron. Newton was a jerk. E equals nothing. It's science, science, science.
Well, I guess we have a theme in this show. We talk about penises. We talked about urine. Charging your phone with urine. Okay, so in case you're missing, you ever leave the house and you forget your phone charger? Well, here's a solution. Dr. Iropoulos from Bristol Robotics Laboratory claimed that one product that we can be sure of an unending supply is your own urine. By harnessing this power as urine passes through a cascade of microbial fuel cells, or MFCs, we have managed to charge a Samsung mobile phone. The scientists believe the technology has the future that's potential to be installed in bathrooms to harness the urine and produce sufficient electricity to power showers, lighting, or razors, as well as mobile phones. Good old P.
See, people thought I was nuts when I would put my phone on vibrate and stick it in my pants. But it was a dual purpose. I was actually charging my phone as well.
Right. Yeah, it's called wireless charging.
Every second, at least 100 million neutrons pass through a square centimeter of our body. Every second, 100 million neutrons. That is insane. That's rude if you really think about it. It's kind of rude because the neutrons could ask permission before they do that, don't you think?
That's right, yes. And you're talking about a neutron pee-pee dance. Scientists have discovered that sunflowers can pull radioactive contaminants out of the soil. Researchers cleaning up the Fukushima site in Japan were putting...
Whoa, wait a minute.
Fukushima, yes.
Really?
Yes, Fukushima.
They're cleaning the Fukushima place?
They are. Look, you're absolutely right. They're putting the flowers to the test. Sunflowers are really good at absorbing certain radioactive isotopes. As the sunflower plant grows, it's sucking the radiation right out of the soil, thanks to Fukushima.
Watch it now.
All right.
Okay, pregnant women are amazing. Get this. By week 20, they will have 50% more blood in their body by week 20 of being pregnant. They produce it to help the growth of the baby because they need that amount of blood so that the baby can grow properly. 50% more blood in their bodies. You talk about a blood relative.
Yes. Today on the show, we talked about cars. We talked about science. We stepped all over the garden. It's time for the news.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
Police have identified a motorcyclist who was arrested after taunting officers and leading them on a high-speed chase.
What?
So, this motorcyclist is 26 years old. He was arrested just after midnight on a particular Wednesday in Farmington Hills.
Nothing good happens after midnight, Nick.
Nope.
I've said that to you a million times.
According to News 8 affiliate WDIV-TV in Michigan, they spoke
The
to
div, the big div.
The big div. They spoke to Michigan State Police, and the motorcyclist, 26-year-old Abdel Tarabah, he started doing wheelies and donuts.
Where is this? Where is this happening?
In Michigan.
Abdel Tolavov.
Near Dearborn, Michigan.
Oh, well, there's a major population, Islamic population, so that would explain the name.
Probably, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
So maybe this is what attracted the cops, because he was doing wheelies and donuts around the Dearborn Police Department.
The cops were attracted by the donuts.
By the donuts,
Clearly.
exactly. Allegedly, yes. So he was doing these around a Dearborn Police Department cruiser.
In a Dunkin' Donuts T-shirt.
On a
screaming, "Time to make the donuts."
That's right. He had this little mustache. Go figure. Those of you
It's 12 a.m. Time to make the donuts.
Time to make the donuts. Those of you who are of a certain vintage remember, what was the product? Oh, it was Dunkin' Donuts. It was the guy who made
the guy with the mustache.
Right.
Time to make the donuts.
So the state troopers were able to track down the rider and pull him over. Well, here's the thing. Troopers did not chase him, but a helicopter patrol was able to monitor him from above. A video recording from the helicopter shows the motorcyclist continued to do stunts as he flees police. Daring little bugger, right? He was doing wheelies on the freeway, all that kind of stuff. But approximately 20 minutes after the first call, officers closed in on the motorcycle because he slowed down. You're thinking, what? Did he give up? Nope. Well, he didn't give up. Why? Because he ran out of gas. Okay.
So he was doing tricks the whole time.
Right.
And the main trick was to have enough gas to make a getaway.
Exactly. Exactly. So this
guy's not too smart.
No.
You know?
This guy is a couple of donuts short of a dozen.
Yeah, he's no baker's dozen.
No, he's not.
No. So the cops arrested him.
They did. So he went to the Farmington Hills jail on charges expected to be filed there. They're not sure.
And just for fun, they fed him a lot of beans.
They did.
They said, "Now you got plenty of gas."
That's right. And he went nowhere fast. Dearborn officials were expected to seek charges in their jurisdictions as well, because apparently in this high-speed chase he went through several jurisdictions. So it's not just one.
He's going to get off scot-free because there's probably videotape of the police officers trying to bite the motorcycle after he got off of it.
Right, because they thought it was a donut.
Hey, don't make fun of the blue. The men in blue are the best. I'm behind them 100%.
Men and women of the blue, thank you for protecting us. However you do that, we really do appreciate all of your service. But, I don't know where the reputation came from. Like, it's got to be some sort of stereotype. Cops do not really eat donuts. Come on.
Oh, come on. They work late shifts, so they drink a lot of coffee and eat a lot of donuts. It makes a lot of sense. But I want to say one thing, and I have to say this.
Yeah.
During COVID, they had to work when other people were hiding at home.
Right.
And they had to work not knowing what the situation was. Now, of course, it turned out to be a lot different than what we thought it was.
Right.
Thank God.
Right.
But the police, they did their job even at a time when they could have been risking their lives.
Right.
And now how quickly we forget that when we choose to. And we shouldn't, because they're out there every day risking their lives. So here to the police, the fire departments all around the world for really risking their lives for us.
First responders is an important part of our communities, and we do, of course, thank you very, very much. So a reminder that we're coming up on our 5th anniversary. We have a very special show coming up in September. But in the meantime, we will, well, this is all the time we have for this particular episode. We will scour the internet.
No.
What? That is all the time that we have. We will.
No more motorcycles or donuts?
We're done with the donuts now. Donuts are all done. Nothing left but the crumbs. This has been another episode of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. We will scour the internet, as we always do, to find out more totally useless information just for you.
So next week, tune in. Don't forget, tell a friend, because we are growing like crazy. We're all over the world now, and it's because of you. Thanks again.
We're growing taller than a bamboo tree. I'm Nick.
Than a Tacona, as Nick would say.
I am Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks very much for listening.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is a production of nickandroy.com. Visit nickandroy.com to access the full library of episodes or wherever you get your podcasts.